Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 science fiction action film, Agent Recon. The film is written, directed and stars Derek Ting. And also we have Marc Singer and the legendary Chuck Norris. Right. I've got to try and tell you what this film's about, which isn't easy. Believe me, it's not easy. So what I've decided to do is read the description on IMDb. I don't do this often, but I'll explain why in a minute. Alistair, the captain of a covert Earth security force, calls in superpowered rookie Jim to join a mission led by Colonel Green and his skilled Marines to track down a mysterious energy disturbance at a base in New Mexico. Even that doesn't make sense. Right. I'm not going to beat about a bush here with this film. I couldn't make head and tail of what were going on in this film. I really couldn't. All I could gather was there was some kind of alien DNA being experimented with. Marc Singer's character, Colonel Green, kind of runs like this elite team of Marines or soldiers, and their job is to kind of track down these kind soldiers, I think, that have been experimented on with this alien DNA, and they've turned into kind of like super soldiers. Derek Ting plays this Jim character who, for reasons, has got superpowers of sorts, but he's a rookie. He goes along with Marc Singer's team to this base, and they kill some folks and this, that, and the other. And then we've got Chuck Norris, who plays Alistair, who, when he was a human, is killed, I believe, but his essence and his memories and everything are installed into like this super android. But it still looks like Alistair, i.e. Chuck Norris. And he kind of helps out along the way. That is the best way I could describe this film, because genuinely, guys, I couldn't make head or tail of what were going on here. It's just reasons for some gunfights and some martial arts, I suppose. And the gunfights are fine, I guess, for this budgeted type of film. The martial arts is okay. It's not I don't have really a massive problem with it. It's not ultra choreographed or anything. It's not really slick and, like other films I've seen recently, like Life After Fighting and stuff. It's certainly, of a decent standard. But the film just really consists of Derek Ting and others like Marc Singer, and there's this big guy called Miller, played by Jason Scott Jenkins. I mean, he's a huge guy, fighting these alien DNA people. And the way you can distinguish these alien DNA people is because they're dressed all in black and they've got these spray-painted hockey mask type things on. I'm guessing that's so they don't have to spend any money on special effects. And that's it. It's just wave after wave of them taking them out. And there's some kind of plot where Colonel Green's daughter's been kidnapped or something, and there's some other bad guy, and it's crazy. There's no way sugarcoating this, guys. This is not a good movie. This is not a movie I can recommend, and I'm not going to lie. The only reason I watched this movie, well, two reasons. The two reasons are Marc Singer, because I love V, and he was in V, the miniseries, so I wanted to watch this for Marc Singer, and obviously the legendary Chuck Norris. Now, the last movie that Chuck Norris did was The Expendables in 2012, and the last film he did before that was in 2005, I think. And Expendables 2, was it 2? Yeah, it was in 2012. He's done a couple of TV episodes for things after, and he's done some voiceover work in that PS5 game that came out last year, was it? But he's not done any acting for a long time. So if you know me and you know my content on the channel, I'm a big fan of Chuck Norris. The last 18 months, I've reviewed a lot of his movies, and I've even done a recent top 10 list of my favourite Chuck Norris films. So the guy's a legend in my eyes. And it was fun and enjoyable to see him in a movie like this. Does he cover himself in glory? No, not really. I mean, I suppose he can get away with it a bit because he's playing like a robot or an android or whatever we're going to call it. So his line delivery is stilted, and that's me being kind. He obviously can't pull off the physical stuff anymore because of his age, so there's quite a lot of fighting that he does that clearly isn't him. But for the most part, all you really see him doing at the end of the film is shooting bad guys with a minigun and shotguns and machine guns, and you see him do an occasional punch and block. But that's enough for me to enjoy watching Chuck Norris doing what he does. Beyond that, there's nothing to recommend here about this film. This is not a film that is going to be fondly remembered in Chuck Norris's filmography by any stretch of the imagination, but anybody else involved in this film, this is not going to be pride and place in their filmography either. That it is probably one of those that as soon as you see Chuck Norris on the poster, that is immediately going to draw people in. It did me. I wanted to see, what this film was going to be like with Chuck Norris in it. Was it going to be any good? And the simple answer is no. This film is not a good film. It's got an incomprehensible story that I couldn't follow, with passable fighting sections, passable hand-to-hand martial arts sections, and a lovely nostalgia kick to see Chuck Norris here in the film. Beyond that, it's just literally a bizarre plot that you can't follow, you don't want to follow, doesn't make any sense, and then it's one of those where you've got the bad guy giving a massive exposition scene like 3/4 of the way through trying to explain what's gone on before, but I promise you by that point you were completely and utterly zoned out. So other than diehard Chuck Norris fans who are probably going to check this one out, this is not to be highly recommended. It's one of the lowest scored films of the year, and unfortunately Chuck Norris can't save this one, guys. So yeah, this is definitely one to avoid. So thanks for joining me for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I will of course be back with more reviews and content very, very soon.